Hey, how's it going? It's Sean Bradshaw from cyberfret.com, and today I want to give you a quick little guitar maintenance tip. Now this is one of those tips that's not the ideal, but in a quick fix you may want to do this. Now, sometimes as your strings get older, they build up a roughness to them. You know, it's corrosion, maybe even a layer of rust. And that can damage the frets on your guitar, especially if you're doing any kind of bends or anything. The string is just kind of scraping against the fret bar. Chips of metal are flying everywhere, and it's just not good for your guitar. You end up getting, if you play with old and corroded strings for too long, you can actually, get some dents in your frets. So, but, if you have a guitar that needs some new strings, but you want to play and you want to avoid damaging your guitar, you can do what I call scraping the barnacles. And what you want to do, and this is a guitar that hasn't had its strings changed in a little while, and so I'm going to use it as an example. And what I'm going to do here is just take a piece of paper, and I'm just going to rip off a section of it. All right, fold it over a couple of times, and then I'm just going to stick that piece of paper underneath one of the strings. I got my second string here, and then I'm just going to run that scrape down the string, and I can just feel all of the goodness being scraped off of that string. All right? In fact, take this off, and there's all kinds of treasures in this piece of paper that you could save for later. So, that's what I call scraping the barnacles. All it's doing is taking the rough layer off of the strings that are a little bit old. This is not going to help you improve your tone at all. It's just going to take that rough layer off so you're not going to make some dents in your frets. Now, ideally, you want to keep your guitar strings changed. And, how often you change your strings really depends on how much you play, and how much you take care of your strings in general. A couple of tips to avoid, getting a bunch of crud on your strings that you need to scrape off is, number one, wash your hands before you play as much as you can. Now, you don't just want to wash your hands if you've been changing the oil in your car or something. Even if you're just sitting around and doing nothing and you think your hands are mostly clean, well, some different salts and oils build up on your fingers, and then you go and play your guitar, and that gets on your guitar. So another thing you might want to do is, after you're finished playing for the day or for that moment, is just take an old cotton t-shirt and wipe down your strings. This is just going to wipe the sweat off your strings. There are also string cleaners that you can use. You just spray them on your strings and wipe them down, and those help your strings last longer. But you can try the scraping the barnacles trick for getting the quick layer of crud off of your strings so that you won't damage your frets. Have a good one.